like there's really no boundary to it. We can just go, but we won't, because we're not like a kid. A kid, we expect if they try something new, they're going to fall a bunch of times. And with us, we're like, oh no, when I try something, I'm going to be perfect at it or I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't even make sense. How are you going to be good at something you never practiced?
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's perfectionism. That's one of my struggles is like
mm-hmm.
being a perfectionist. And I don't think I necessarily have the dialogue in my head like that, but it's actually what actually manifests. Like I noticed there are some things like I just feel like I don't want to try, or I'm going to keep studying and researching this until I feel like I can do it
right
awesomely. And then, that doesn't really happen like when you're trying something new, and it kind of leaves you trapped. Like if you feel like that's the criteria, then you'll never like learn anything new. You'll never step outside of your comfort zone and you can never change. So yeah. Sarah, did you restart recording? Because I didn't. I just pushed the button while you were talking.
These things happen. Okay, we're gonna push record right now. It's gonna be fine.
Ooh, I'm seeing some like pausing over here on the YouTube channel. I don't know if it's like pausing for everybody, but I'm just kind of monitoring. Okay.
Do I have a record? Did you let me record?
I pushed the allow record button. So
okay, we're both going now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have 4 lessons learned that we want to impart on you guys today. Is that right, Sarah? What are teachable moments? No, they're not really teachable moments. They're just like lessons.
Stuff we've learned the hard way that we want you guys to learn right away and not waste a bunch of time.
Oh, yeah. So this podcast is going to be really good for you if you kind of feel like you're in my shoes, like how I felt, with my little 10 subscribers and I was feeling some type of way. I think back then I just thought like I had to wait for subscribers to like grow on trees and just, I don't know why I always use that reference, like they just somehow would trickle in like a breeze or through the ocean waves. And if you don't want to wait, there are things that you can do to actively be involved with growing your channel in terms of subscribers. Now, I'm not going to promise it's going to get you that watch time. Like, I think there's a little more thought that kind of goes into strategically building your channel from that perspective. Yeah. But, it doesn't hurt to get subscribers so that you can have like an audience to support you as you're experimenting. And, you need to like have people to like test your stuff on. How are you going to know if your videos are good if nobody's like watching you and giving you that feedback? So, I mean, this is still a great thing to do, and it's really a good idea to be active. So.
Plus, as soon as you have your first 100 subscribers, that means you've probably found 10 people that will really support you. That's how it was for me. Well, maybe like, I would say between 8 and 10 of people who showed up every video, watched my whole entire video, made a nice comment, liked and everything. And you need those things when you're starting. Oh, yeah. Because I think, what was it that we learned about where you only need like a certain percentage who really all out support you, like 10%, I think. So anyway, I think that the very first thing that you have to do is create legitimate community. And if you're in that trap where you're like, all you have to do is go to people's channels and be like, great video, just subbed you, come see me. It's not going to work. It's just not. We all are. I don't know if you were tempted to do it, but I was, and I had like my own way of saying things. I forget what I said now. Anyway, it doesn't matter, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. I don't even think when I was starting YouTube, and I think this really goes to show like how introverted I am. Like I didn't even need to do that. Like it never dawned on me to go to other people's channels and be like, hey, I like what you're doing here. Like come back, and it never even dawned on me that I could do that. I just like literally sat there like a log in the water.
I think I remember what I said. Okay, so I never would ask either because I was like, how dare I ask someone to come to my channel? Like, that's ridiculous. So I saw this one girl comment something, and it was just like a really nice comment. It wasn't like a dash in, dash out. Like she fully commented on my videos. Clear she watched the whole thing.
Mhm.
Then she was like, if you have the time, I'd love to see you back at my channel. And I think I basically said that. If you have
Oh,
the
I like
time,
that.
if you have the time, I'd love to see you, or I'd love for you to stop by my channel sometime. And so
Yeah.
I thought that was like, you know,
A
a
nice way
polite
to
way.
say,
But
let's be
always,
friends.
always I made sure that my comment was like, it was a good comment.
Yeah, for sure. I think I am trying to remember if I ever got to the point where I asked people. I think I just left really thoughtful comments. So
Mm-hmm.
let me rewind just a second and let
Mm-hmm.
me talk to Little Day Day. If you
Okay.
guys don't know who Little Day Day is by now, I'm gonna need y'all to go back a couple of podcast episodes. I think I talk about her every week. That's my person that I'm
Yeah.
speaking to. And
Yeah.
so I talk to her a little different. So basically, the advice I would give to you is be social.
Mm-hmm.
Make yourself known on the platform. Go and watch other people's videos that are doing something similar to you and just make yourself known. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to like ask people to come to your channel, but literally, or even videos that you're already watching. For me, I even now, if it's not a small YouTuber, I don't even leave comments on videos that I watch now. But that is, if you want to grow, like start doing that because there are
Mm-hmm.
people who are actively looking for people who have small channels so that we
Mm-hmm.
can like support each other and form community. And if
Yeah.
nobody knows that you are alive or nobody knows that you exist, there's a good chance that the YouTube algorithm is not going to like make you known either. So
Won't do
be
it.
active in being known in the community. And then in terms of like what I used to say, I think the biggest thing that I did is I just try to be I try to leave comments that I wanted somebody to leave for me. So I know
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like it when I got all those really short, like nice video. And I know like you just killed my watch time. So I
Yeah.
really tried to make sure that when I left comments on people's channels that they are aware that I watched it, I was engaged, and I did not come here to kill your watch time. Like I really want to connect with you. Let's be friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Super, super important to be authentic when you comment. And like, here's the thing too, is I think that there are a lot of people who believe that they can play the sub game. So if they get a ton of subs, that
Mm-hmm.
that's going to get them monetized, and it's not. If you have very superficial relationships with people, like I've seen people who like skyrocket in subscriber count, and then it takes them like 8 months to get to
Mm-hmm.
watch time because
Yeah.
none of their people who subscribe to them are actually watching their videos in full. So
Yeah.
that's why if you expect for people to watch your videos in full, which is the only real way to get them in YouTube's like push zone where they push out your content,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the only way you're going to get watch time, you have to be actually giving what you expect to get. It's like a very karmic thing. Don't put something out there and expect to get something different, in my humble opinion. But there's also like what were we gonna say?
Oh, I wanted to hear about your opinion. Like I thought you was about to go off, and I was like, "What you gonna say, Sarah? Say it."
I just think like I have seen a lot of people who they'll come through my channel and they'll do it a couple of times, like just to kind of like toss out that bait and see if anything comes up. And they'll just stop in. Like, you didn't watch enough that you can't say one thing about my video. It
Mm-hmm.
always has to be a great video or nice job.
Yeah.
No, you didn't even watch 1 minute so that you could be like, oh, I love that coffee mug or whatever, not one. And those are the same people who, like, we are smart out here and we know if you're not watching our videos, and we're not going to watch yours either.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've seen a lot of people like that struggle,
Yeah.
and I just want to give them the help, but also that's awkward.
Yeah. It's hard.
So, and there is a science to this whole thing too, because like if you get vidIQ, which is just a free browser extension that you can use on Chrome, it will tell you when you're in the comment section of videos how many subscribers each person has. So what I used to do is I go watch a YouTuber that was like similar to my niche, and it could be a a big or a medium-sized YouTuber, because I really couldn't find a lot of small YouTubers. I remember like Googling, how do I find small YouTubers? And like, where's the list of small YouTubers? And I couldn't ever find them. So then I just finally figured out with the vidIQ, you can now see people who have 20 subscribers, and they are way more willing to come to your channel and watch your content and develop a relationship with you because, you know, they don't have a lot going on and you don't have a lot going on either. So you're like, okay,
let's be friends.
Let's be friends. So that is, I think that's the way to do it. And then when we were talking about this earlier, Lide, you were talking about how, like, even if it's a big YouTuber, you should leave a good comment, because other people who are coming through and trying to see, okay, are you in my approximate numbers? They're going to be looking, oh, they'll see you and they'll realize, oh, you're like close to my membership. So membership, subscribership.
Subscriber count, yeah.
And then they'll come find you. So.
Oh, another thing that I used to do too is if you happen to find a small YouTuber or somebody who's growing the same size as you, look through their comments section, because I feel like that's where it's all ripe and ready. Like there's a good chance that if you find someone that you connect with, that the people leaving comments under their videos are also kind of like have that understood, like, you know, let's be friends, let's support each other kind of thing. And so that's a really good spot. But sometimes it takes you finding that first, you know, smaller YouTuber to connect with, where you can like start putting yourself into communities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. What's our second point? Ooh.
Oh, I had a couple of things I wanted to say about this small YouTuber community before we move on. Yeah, it's a little day. I was also going to say, sometimes, like, if you notice that you're doing like the reciprocal thing, I would encourage people to try to watch somebody else's videos like a couple of times. Like, what am I trying to say? I think, to me, I'm just like, I think I put this on a video before, was just like the first time I go, I'm like, hey, you know, thank you for coming by. Like, and I'll come and I'll like leave a response for you. But after I do that like 2 or 3 times, then it's a relationship kind of thing. And I feel like now I'm invested in your story. Now I want to know what's going to happen, you know, with your grandma, with your dog, with your baby. And so sometimes it takes a minute to like create those relationships. And so don't think that, you know, the first time you leave a comment for someone or you go and you give support to someone, that means that now you guys have like a relationship or a friendship or connection. Sometimes it takes a minute for that to build. So don't be discouraged if you feel like, oh, like I have to watch your video before you even think about coming back to mine. Like, don't be discouraged, because sometimes it can take a minute to do that. And also I wanted to say that a benefit of trying to create a small, like a community around yourself, is that it really is a good place to experiment. I felt like, I don't know about you, Sarah, but I felt like when I kind of was starting, especially with my first couple hundred subscribers, like I felt like so supported, you know, even if it was just a handful of people, that it like really made me feel like it was a safe place to like show up and experiment with my content and not feel like I have to worry about haters coming, because my channel wasn't popping like that to really, and it's still not popping like that to really attract haters. And so it's a really good place to experiment. That's all I'm trying to say. What about you? Did you feel like how do you feel like, let me articulate this question better. I'm just trying to say, did you ever feel like as a small YouTuber, like that was like I was so worried about like attracting haters and all these weirdos to my channel. And I found it refreshing that once I started building a community around myself, that people were actually nice and supportive. And it actually inspired me to show up a little more. And so I didn't know if you had like a similar experience.
Oh, totally. Because prior to starting a channel, I'd only watched bigger YouTubers and I would see them get torn up. They could have done nothing wrong.
Yeah, just breathe.
Yeah, just the weird trolls are going to come through and be like, I hate your face. And you're like, why? So I was very afraid that was going to happen to me. I was delighted when I discovered that if you're not a really big channel, there aren't people coming through saying mean things because your video isn't pushed into that large of a population.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing, and still is my favorite thing about being a small YouTuber, is that I feel very safe with my community. I am not at the point where I have to like really worry about weirdos. There's that.
Yeah.
There was the one subscriber who kept coming to my channel, and his channel name was Male Stripper. And
Oh God.
I was like,
blocked and blessed. Was he at least nice?
He was really nice, actually.
Okay. It's just the name was a little interesting.
The photo was interesting.
Oh God.
So, anyway, but like everyone's so nice, so that helps a ton too.
Yeah.
They're all out there working hard just like you and wanting to make friendships just like you. So
I think that's what it is.
I'm a very negative person, so it's easy for me to be like, everyone's out to get me and like no one's gonna like me, but they do. They're awesome. Don't be worried.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. Like when you're surrounded by people who are doing the same thing as you, like they get it. They understand how hard it is to show up, how hard it is to learn this technology, how hard it is to come up with this content. And so there's a good chance that if you have a good community around you, they're not going to come for you. Like if your video is not the best thing since Instant Rice, they're going to be like trying to support you because hopefully in return, you're doing the same thing for them as they're learning and as they're growing and, you know, developing into the YouTubers they want to be. So, yeah. That was it. That was all I wanted to say about that.
Okay. Well, then I have one more thing to say because what you said just reminded me. So another thing is I would highly recommend is only subscribe to channels that you actually like the person.
Girl, yes.
Because you're going to have a hard time really truly supporting someone in a genuine way and showing up to that. Like when you're a small YouTuber, you have to show up for each other. I'm talking 2-3 times a week. You need to like them. And it's not like you have to be best friends all at once, but if you like, I've come across some that I'm like, you do not care about your channel, or you're just putting out stuff that is like so horrible you do not care about my poor eyes that are watching this. And or just people that like you can just tell that you know you're not very compatible. So like good luck on their journey, but you just want to find people that you know that you can be kind of in the long haul with.
Oh yeah. I feel like I totally agree with you because supporting other people, it's really time consuming. And I feel like when I was a new YouTuber, I spent a lot of time, probably more time back then than I do now, like trying to show up for other people and to be supportive. And I feel like, I don't know, like, do you feel like for some people putting in that time is like a rite of passage or nah? Do you think that like that was just me being extra? Because I kind of feel like you kind of have to promote yourself, and that's kind of a way to do that. And then over time, once you start to improve your content and you understand the SEO and you understand how to position yourself, then you start attracting organic subscribers. But it's kind of like you slowly kind of phase out of having to be so active and promoting yourself. Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm definitely, I agree with you totally, because I think once I had about, I would say 350 to 400, I had as many people who were like very loyal to my channel as I could keep up with. Like still, there are so many people that I truly love and want to see their content, but there are not enough hours in the day.
Yes.
And so I have to just try to get to their content when I can. And so it just, at that point, it felt like I was trying to make relationships with too many people.
Yeah.
So I just decided at that point that, like, unless I just happened to come across someone that I really, really loved, that I wasn't going to try to get people to subscribe. I was hoping it would start coming.
I think I kind of capped out at like 400, 450 too. Like once I reached, not saying that I supported 450 people back, but I just, once I got to that subscriber amount, I was just like, it's too much. Like I can't like sustain this. And so I stopped actively searching for new people to like be supportive with. And I mean, to me, that worked out really well because I've learned on my journey that once you learn about like how to position yourself and create content that's appealing to, you know, your people that you're trying to create content for, the organic subscribers will start coming because you only need about a good handful of people, about 15 people to like watch your videos from beginning to end. And if that video is strategically titled and it has good SEO, like all you need is 15 people to get in the search engine. So it's like, you don't really need to have a lot. So like, you don't have to get too carried away with feeling like you have to be BFS with everybody. Get you like 15 loyal people or more. It doesn't hurt to have a few more. And like, you're probably good to go. Like, you know, in terms of like getting your content pushed. It like triggers the algorithm. Like, and it's not as much as, you know, like I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
Okay. Well, tip number 2 is to be strategic. And I'm going to say this, and for a lot of you, you're like, duh. I have to say this for my girl. My girl is Sam, and that is me when I started my journey. And my girl was very afraid of putting herself out there and trying hard. And why am I talking about myself in the third person? I was very afraid.
We have changed.
Yeah.
We are not the same people we were.
No, we're not. Gosh, this has been like the biggest progress for my everything. Anyway, so I was just really afraid to be strategic because I kind of thought, like, if I try really hard and no one shows up for me and like my channel is a big flop, then that's really an indicator that I myself am a failure, which is real stupid, but that's just the way it was. And it was ingrained in me.
So hard. Yeah, that's why YouTube is like so much emotional stuff that nobody tells you.
So much. We should do a whole podcast about the emotional journey of a YouTuber. It's crazy. But like, okay, so you need to create searchable content. So you go ahead and get over this whole thing. Like, I don't want to put myself out there. This is a ton of work. You and I both know that. And you can either spend time getting very, very comfortable with filming and recording and like talking to people. And that's fine if you have to do that. But I wish someone would have told me, you're wasting your time. Like, you could be doing what you're doing and also gaining momentum, but you're so afraid that you're just gonna like doggy paddle for a while instead of like get in there.
Yeah.
So you have to create searchable content. And that's like, people talk a lot about this, about how like YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google. And I understood that, but I don't think I knew what that meant. So I just wanted to give you guys an example. When I was Googling to SEO search for this podcast, I Googled, what was my initial? I said, how to gain your first 100 subs. So when I put that in the search engine, and I have TubeBuddy, I looked at the TubeBuddy score and it was 14 out of 100. And so I thought, that's pretty low. What I'm trying to tell you is that the wording matters. So I then put in how to get your first 100 YouTube subscribers, and that turned out a 67 out of a 100. So basically, there are words and ways that you need to create your content, and you have to start with what terms are searchable first. And I did it backwards. Like, I would make a video, I still kind of do, I'm still really struggling to get out of this, where I'd make a video and then I'd go see what terms matched up with it. And it's much easier to just figure out the terms first and then kind of craft your video based on that. Yeah. And the other thing was, what was my video that I did? I did how I failed at YouTube. If you Google or if you YouTube search how I failed at YouTube, I'm going to come up as number 3, which is crazy because I have like just over 500 subscribers. And so I was right underneath someone with 100 that had 181,000 views on their video, and someone had 10,000 views on their video. So I was number 3. And it was just, I had actually played around with the verbiage before I made that. So what do you think, girl?
Well, first of all, before I talk to little Day Day, I just want to say that Kenya's in the house. Ew. Okay.
Kenya's here?
I'm not sure if she's still watching, but she left a comment. She said, so proud of you, ladies. Thank you for swinging by, girl. I don't know if you're still here, but we appreciate your support.
We love you.
And if you have any questions, please drop them. We want this to be interactive. So, all right, back to it. Okay. So yes, being strategic. I feel like not so much. I need to get back into it. I feel like girl, let's alert the game. Like, we can have a whole podcast episode.
Yeah.
I feel like I had so much fun with this. And yes, I feel like the whole point for me of being strategic is that you have to be able to speak the language of YouTube. And I, too, Sarah, make my videos before I think about strategy, which I need to get out of that. I usually make the video that I want to make.
Yeah.
And then when it comes time to title, SEO, and tag that bad boy, I does that research. Okay. Little Day Day. Let me know if y'all tired of me calling y'all Little Day Day. It just helps me know what to say. There are tools.
Hold up your picture.
Oh God. Okay. For those of you who are watching the live, this is Little Day Day. This is literally me, like, when I started this is like one of my first YouTube channels. And I'd be looking at her. I'd be like, what does this girl need to know? I advise that if you are wanting to create content to help a person or to help a specific type of person, you have a visual, like, who are you talking to? And what does she need to know? Okay, at this point, when I first started my journey, I don't think I realized that the whole thing about strategically inserting information so that YouTube knows where to put your video. That's pretty much where it is. If you're not strategic about that, YouTube doesn't know what to do with you. And so, yeah, like, I know Sarah mentioned TubeBuddy. There's vidIQ. I kind of like TubeBuddy now. I thought I was like a vidIQ girl for life.
Did too.
But TubeBuddy got my heart. And so I just want Little Day Day to know that there are tools out there that you can use where you can literally type in the title that you were thinking about, and it will tell you yay or nay. Like, it's not really that straightforward. It will let you know that based off of, like, your number of subscribers or the number of views that you get, there's a good chance that this video is going to be in the search engine. There's a good chance that it's not. And so you can literally play around with the wording, and you can, like, literally add, I can't remember if it was like the word like, it was some word that we were talking about before that you can literally add the word take the word off. Like, little stuff like that can dramatically change your chances of getting your video pushed into the search engine. I don't know what it is. I don't know how that works. Just very small tweaks, using synonyms. Girl, instead of saying groceries, say, what's a synonym for groceries? My food.
Shopping.
Like, shopping. Like, little stuff like that. Yeah. So that's what I do now. Or not so much. I need to get back into it. But when I was, like, actively trying to grow my channel, I spent a lot of time just playing with wording and stuff like that. And literally, if you spend like 20 minutes doing that and putting some thought into it and making sure that it's in your title, your description, and then your tags, you can really increase your chances of getting your content placed in the search engine. And then as I mentioned earlier, you just need, like, if your video is well thought out in terms of that, you just need like 15 to 20 people to watch your stuff from beginning to end. And if you have like a high score, that would really help you get them organic subscribers, because YouTube will know exactly where to put you. People watching your video tells YouTube that this is a quality video. And then that's, like I said, if you can get your stuff in the search engine or at least suggested, that's where you'll start attracting a lot of, like, your organic subscribers.
Yeah. Well, also TubeBuddy. So if you have less than 1,000 subscribers, TubeBuddy will give you their first paid tier, which is like $10, I think?
Yeah, like $9.50 or something.
Yeah.
Like,
so
very
they'll
cheap.
very cheap. They'll give it to you for half off. So it's like $4.50 a month. And it has an SEO builder. So you can put in search terms that you think people would be looking for. And it will help you literally craft the title and the description box and the tags. Have you not seen that?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I've been doing this all by hand. You telling me I don't have to do this by hand anymore?
You do not.
Girl, you changing lives in 2020.
Thank you.
It's called SEO Builder?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I wish. Okay.
I'm going to
I'll
do
show
it.
you later. But it's
Okay.
really great. It's just on the little tab anywhere when you're in like the video editor thing.
Okay, I'm going to have to look for that. That's going to like save you so much time.
No, it saves so much time. And then you can also, it like will score you as you're writing your description.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll tell you like you need to have these certain terms in the first 60 characters.
Ooh.
And then it'll start scoring you. And if you start to go off course, it'll like swing back the other way. So it's very helpful.
Yes.
So that's just, I mean, a couple bucks a month. It's so worth it. That's what brought me over to the TubeBuddy side, because I was very like hooked up with vidIQ at first.
Yeah.
Which I still have their free version.
I do too.
It's the one that tells you how many subscribers people have. TubeBuddy doesn't do that, I don't think. So.
Oh, they don't. Okay. Good to know. So get the free version of vidIQ and go ahead and pay your little $4.50 for TubeBuddy.
Do you have any more thoughts on this whole topic right here? Be strategic.
I think we're
strategic.
Good. Oh, I did have one thought, but I feel like it might take too long to explain. I'll just try to do it briefly, and if there's interest, we can make another video about it. But I remember sharing, I don't think it's on my channel anymore, just about another way to think of interesting names and names for your videos so that you can increase your chances of it becoming searchable. And basically my whole thesis was try to get very specific. Like instead of saying my Aldi's grocery haul, like try to think of any details that will help people search for that. My budget, $150 budget grocery haul for a family of 6. And the way that I like to do it is I like to create like a bubble. I know you guys, this is a audio medium, you can't see what I'm doing, but I like to just draw a bubble and write the term, and then I draw out these little lines, and I just try to come up with as many related words as I can. And I find that the more specific I can get, like the better chances I have of my content like showing up or being searchable. Another example would be like Dollar Tree. Instead of saying Dollar Tree haul, like if you get specific, this is a Dollar Tree planner type of haul, budget, like as many descriptive words as you can put in there, it really makes it like your content a little easier to stand out as opposed to just putting like generic terms. So we can do a whole podcast on that.
Okay, well, you've never told me that one, so I've just made a note to myself to start working on that.
I made a live video about it, and then I took it down because I was like, that's not what my channel is going to be about. But I can send it to you. I can make it unlisted. I'll send it to you.
You know what? You could have put it on this channel. Right?
You know, maybe I will. I'll download it and put it over here.
That'd be great. Okay, so moving right along to number 3. This is going to scare the old me. Focus on your visuals. The reason this is going to scare me, I'm not going to show you guys my room right now because it's a hot mess. But if you guys saw it, you would realize something about me is I don't understand the way color works together, and I don't understand how to decorate, and I actually don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm a very artistic person, and I love to see it, but it drives me crazy trying to put together something beautiful or cohesive. So I'm talking about like your banner, thumbnails, if you're posting to like Instagram or Facebook, is any of that cohesive? Which, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. That's not what I'm trying to say. But especially with thumbnails, people are so visual that if it's a pretty thumbnail and it's attractive, people will click on it. Like, you've done it. I've done it. We've all done it. And the reason I think the banner is important is just because that gives people some indication who do not know you what you're going to be doing. So some people put like they post Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Some people put what they talk about on their channel. Those are all very helpful things for people who don't know you yet. Like, it doesn't matter to those of us who are already your friends, but when you're attracting people, each little clue that you can give them about the experience that they're going to have if they just join your channel is helpful. What are your thoughts, Lide? Do you agree or disagree?
So for those of you who are just listening to the podcast, you guys just missed out on Sarah's facial expression. It was so cute. When she was saying the experience you're going to have, like she did this little circular neck and hand motion. It just gave me life. So if you want to see, come over to the YouTube channel where we record these things live and you will get to see the facial expressions, the mannerisms. It's so much fun. Yes, speaking back to little Day Day. Yeah, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but it's also fortunate. I don't know. People are very visual and people won't even take the time to check out what your video's like if you're not putting effort into making it visually appealing. And so for me, I think that's a huge turnoff because I've never associated anything like with my life to be coordinated or visually appealing either. And so it takes a lot of brain energy for me to figure out how to make this happen because I'm not naturally like a cutesy person. I don't know why I had to do that voice
because that's how cutesy people sound. Cutesy
people talk. So some tips that I have on that is I know that you've spent days editing your video, you've been breaking your back trying to get them angles, and it's very tempting to just throw your stuff out there to be like, I'm done with this crap. Don't do it. You have to spend some time on that thumbnail. Like, I know, like, you just want to be done, but girl, you probably need to spend an equal amount of time, if not more, coming up with the thumbnail. And I'm being very dramatic, but at the same time, I hope it's emphasizing my point. Like, don't skimp out on that. Yeah. Some things that I like to do to help me in this department, since I am not a graphic designer, is I be copying thumbnails. Okay. I will go to people's channels. I'll be like, that's cute. I got a little playlist called Thumbnails I Like. And I just save anytime something just catches my eye. I don't really know why. I just save it on this playlist. And whenever I get ready to create a video, I just refer back to it. And I see which one I feel like makes the most sense. And then I try to recreate it in my own way. Obviously, I put my own pictures. I'm not going to steal somebody else's pictures. I put my own text. I make it relevant. But like in terms of like playing with the fonts, playing with positioning, adding cute little, what are those called? Like emojis and stuff like that. I definitely draw inspiration from other people. Also the color rule. I know, Sarah, you mentioned that you have a hard time with colors. That's when I have a hard time with too. And I think I got this advice from Jasmine Star. If you don't, she has a podcast, she has an Instagram, like she's everywhere. She does like a lot of Instagram social media stuff. And she recommends like looking at a color wheel and looking at like colors in the picture. And then she's like, colors that are directly across match colors that are like this. And so there's like a way that I just make this easier for myself is if you just type in like color wheel app or something like that on the internet. Literally all you have to do is like pick your favorite color and it will come up with combinations of colors that go well together with that color. So it just saves me a lot of energy. So I edit my thumbnails in PicMonkey. Before I had PicMonkey, I used to do it in, what is this called? Keynote on Mac. But I will literally just copy a color wheel. Either I'll type one up or I'll create my own and then drag it into my picture. And then PicMonkey gives you the option of matching colors. So I will go through and just use my little color wheel to like come up with the color combinations. And I just play with it until I feel it in my heart that I'm satisfied with it.
Can I tell you something that has just changed my life? I don't know if you've looked at my channel recently, but my thumbnails are starting to finally look cohesive and I just changed my color scheme. But can I just tell you a little something?
Yes, please do.
Go to Pinterest.
Oh God, yes.
And type in color schemes.
Girl, Pinterest is saving lives.
It will come up like, this is how I picked both of my color schemes. And it will show you like all these colors that I would never have thought to put together. And they look so good. And also I tend towards bright colors and you need a lot of subtle colors. So if you get, like, I think I have 7 or 8 colors that I'm using to brand my channel and my Instagram.
Yeah.
From now on, I'm just starting to do this. And all you have to do on PicMonkey and Canva, they both have brand kits. So you can basically just put those colors into PicMonkey and Canva. And then you can also pick text. I have 2 texts now that I have in my branding kit.
Mhm.
And so every time you click the little color wheel to select a color, it will first pull up all of your brand colors. So you are not like hunting every time. They're right there. And if you hit text, it comes out with your 2 little texts. It's
Tutorial, please.
amazing. I will
I need
make
the
you a
tutorial.
tutorial.
Yes, please.
I need a video topic for this
I
week
love
anyway.
this. This is gonna save me so much time.
It's so
Oh
much
my
time.
God. Yes.
And
I
even
love
if
that.
you
And then you don't even have to think about it. Like every video is just always
No.
there. I
So
love that.
it reduces stress like none other. And then
Yeah.
for me, who I don't know what looks good together anyway, unless I see it, someone's already curated the colors for me. I've selected the ones that I like together. And so if I have like 7 or 8. So even if I use 3 on one and then I use a different 4 on another, it still looks
still
good.
all goes together. I love that.
Yes.
That is genius. I love that.
Yeah.
And I will definitely, you said PicMonkey has this brand kit feature as well?
In
Okay.
Canva.
Yes, because your girl got PicMonkey, so
It's a little hard to find, but you can find it.
Girl, I will search me a tutorial tonight. Well, probably not tonight.
I will make you a tutorial.
Yes, I love that. Thanks for sharing.
And throw it out there.
As many videos as I watch about YouTube, how come I've never come across this information? This is gold.
I know.
You're saving people so much time. I'm just saying. Okay.
Trial and error, baby.
Yes.
Okay, and then dare we talk about point 4?
Yes, let's do it.
This was the hardest one for me.
Yes.
Promote your channel. Do not pretend that your channel is the redheaded stepchild that you hate. You need to talk about it.
I'm still struggling on this one.
I am too, but okay, there are 2 extremes, okay? 2 extremes. So there are the people who every 5 seconds they're talking about their channel on Instagram or Facebook. They're like, I just gained another subscriber. I just this, or my new video. And you're like, all right, we're good. And then there are the people who, what does that mean? Sorry. And then there are the people who refuse to talk about their channel. Like I knew this one girl when I was starting out, and she was like, I think she had maybe 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers when I was just starting. And she said on a video, her husband was in the military and he was like, he was deployed at that time. She didn't tell him that she had a channel. She was like, I just was scared he wouldn't like it or whatever, or know, or think that it was like dumb. So I just thought I just do as much as I could until he came back. And then like, if it was good, I would tell him. And if it wasn't, I wouldn't. And then she ended up doing really well. So I think she has like 32,000 subscribers now. Wow. What a nice surprise for her husband. But there are just 2 very distinct extremes. I think you guys know where Ladae and I tend to lean. We're like crickets. It's very hard for us to post.
Gosh, yeah. I need to get better at that. I remember I was doing a collaboration with someone and they were like, okay, I'm going to share a video on Instagram. And I'm like, yeah, that's where it is for me. I'm not sharing it over there. I have gotten a little better because I'm getting a little more confident on my thumbnails. I will put them in my stories because I know they will disappear. I really need to get better.
Mm-hmm. You do.
So, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like where I was going to go with this topic
is
I want to share a thing that I tried that didn't work. Like maybe this could help somebody. I think my issue with promoting on my channel or my Instagram and like Facebook and all that stuff is like, I don't know. I feel like it's like one thing to talk about YouTube to other YouTubers, but like once I start getting over to Instagram, I'm like, these are people that I know. I don't want people that I know to be all up in my business. And so I'm really having a disconnect there. Like even in my real life, when we have people come over, like I don't tell people about my channel. So I need to practice what we preach. But I will tell you something that I did try that did not work for me. And that was going on these YouTube, Facebook groups. Like that was just a waste of time. I feel like I spent a lot of energy like going and like trying to do like Sarah and I talked about a good way to introduce yourself to people, make yourself known in the community. Doing the thing that we talked about on lesson 1 was far more productive than trying to go on these YouTube moms, Facebook groups for YouTube moms. That was just like a waste of time for me. And I felt like a lot of people really wanted to do this sub for sub thing, and people would just throw their videos up, but there was never any like reciprocation or support. And so there may be a group out there that you guys know about that could be more supportive. Maybe I just haven't come across it, but I subscribe to a lot of those, and I felt like they just stressed me out. Like, I don't know why they stressed me out, and I felt like they didn't add value, and they didn't really help my channel grow. So that was what I was going to say in terms of promoting your channel the right way. I would just don't worry about all that YouTube stuff or the Facebook stuff. Just save your time and energy and go look for people to be in your community. But, not to say that that's all groups, just the ones that I found were very helpful. So,
well, and two, I think like if you're my Instagram account, I've had it for many years, and I have mostly like family and friends on there. And so I've been posting a little bit about my YouTube stuff, but I don't want to spam up their feed either. Like I don't love that when that happens to me. And so I didn't like that. But then I also knew that I needed to get to the point where I was making connections with people outside of YouTube and like just generating those connections. And so I started a new Instagram account, and it actually has grown a lot faster than my other account was growing. And I think it's because it's targeted. Like I'm only looking for YouTubers and people that I really look up to in the business space to be friends with, because then they're not going to care if you're talking about YouTube stuff all day long.
They know what they signed up for.
Yeah, they might be interested. And if they're not, you're not like, oh, well, you just don't have, I don't have a lot of the hangups on that channel.
Gosh.
What's up with my words on that platform? Just making a brand new.
I did that, Sarah. And then people came and found me.
A couple people have found me too.
Oh, I know. I'm still like, I need to like get over myself. Like, I'm not being a very good role model to Lil Day Day right now. Lil Day Day, don't worry about me.
We'll get there.
I will get there. I am slowly learning to bust out of that shell. But it is still a work in progress. I'm almost thinking, should I start another account? Just so I can get through this? I'm tired of creating new accounts. So, yeah.
No more accounts. You're cut off.
I think I just have to just go for it. It's so awkward. Like when I create my Instagram lives and stuff, I'm like, oh my gosh, like people who know me in real life, they don't see me in a capacity where I want to serve others and help others. So it's just like, that's what I have to remember. I'm here, I am serving. I am here sharing my teachable moments so that people can move past things that are bothering them or hurting them. And
plus, if they don't like that content, they're not going to watch it.
Yeah, but it's just so awkward.
It is.
I'm like,
it is.
I need to, But I think just remembering that I'm serving.
Yeah. You're
can help
people.
I'll let you know in a couple of months once I have conquered this little JD what my tips are, my hacks.
Okay.
But don't waste time. I think you can tell pretty quickly if you join some groups, if they're going somewhere or not. Just evaluate it pretty quickly and save yourself some time.
Yeah.
Frustration. So.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think we're about to wrap this up. We went over creating a legitimate community and being strategic and like the visuals of your channel and how to promote your channel with social media. And if you have any questions, leave them because we'd love to talk about it. I think that we're both learning so much, but it's such a cool thing to be able to sit down and talk about things like this that we really aren't hearing about with bigger YouTubers. So I think it is on us as smaller YouTubers to talk about these things that really matter, and they shouldn't be secrets. They're resources that we should freely share. So, yeah. Which one of those are you going to tackle today?
Tomorrow. Let's see, what would be a good one? I need to get back to the basics. I think honestly, I don't even know. I think it's this whole Corona thing, like, has really chopped away a lot of my time.
Oh, yeah.
But to me, I'm like, that's the basics. Supporting people, being strategic about your content. Like, to me, those two things are the basics. That's what kind of helps me get started, is putting that energy out there and receiving it back. And I need to get back to that. But, you know, I have to also give myself grace because the time restraint is so hard right now in my house. So.
Well, yeah, your life is hard. She's got 4 kids, guys, and she's homeschooling 2 of them, and 2 of them are toddlers.
God, Jesus. So, yeah.
That's right. Well, Lede and I we love talking about YouTube. As you know, we have a whole podcast devoted to it. And we are making a course that we're going to launch in the next week or 2. It's just going to be a free course for you guys. And it's going to be how to create a binge watchable channel, because that is something I did not understand.
Yeah.
Until like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
Or just like that term, I didn't understand binge watchable channel. But anyway, so we have some very awesome tips, and we just wanted to put it together in like a really neat, organized way for you guys. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and email us at themomfluencebiz@gmail.com, and we'll make sure to let you guys know when it goes live.
Yeah. You know, I always have to add a spill in there for little Day. Is that weird? Like, am I allowed to do this? Like, pretty much say the same thing that you said? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't hurt my
little Day. Yes. Like, I just feel like I just have to like talk to her sometimes, because I'm just like, have you ever came across a channel where you were just like, oh my God, like this person gets me. I cannot stop watching these videos, because that's happened to me quite a bit, like especially a lot recently. Sarah and I have come across some really cool, helpful people, and we think we have cracked the code. Studying these people, following their content. Sarah and I, we have invested to go take some marketing classes, and we just want to save people some time and a lot of stress and book reading, because I know you're reading books, little Day. We about to just save you a lot of time and condense it all into one place, how to get that effect on your channel. And I'm so excited, like,
I am too,
to just see it all come together, because I feel like based off of our experiences, we both have a lot to say on that. And I think it's,
I've easily devoted 40 to 50 hours on just the one topic that we're going to talk about. And you probably have the same. So we're going to give like 80 to 90 hours worth of content. We're going to put it in a nice little package. So it's like an hour.
If you follow through our program, you're going to be able to create a channel where, you know, once you attract the people who it's meant for, our goal is that you're going to be able to have that same effect. They're going to be like, wow, like this channel gets me, I'm subscribing. Like, yeah, this is good stuff. So we want to show you guys how to do that.
Yes, we do. Okay, well, it was wonderful to talk to you today, Lede. And
likewise.
Hello to all of our friends. Thank you for coming to listen to our podcast, and come by our YouTube channel.
Sweet. I guess we will. Oh, did you mouth something to me? Was I supposed to say something?
No, I was about to say bye, and then I didn't know you
Even
were
if
going somewhere.
I like made it so awkward. I'm sorry. Y'all have to know, like, that's just who I am. But yeah, I had fun talking about how to get your first 100 subscribers. Guys, go get your first 100 subscribers. Go do it. Be active.
Let us know.
Let us know how it goes. And we hope to be in touch with you guys. And if you guys are interested in that course, hit us up at our email, themomfluencebiz@gmail.com. Also, we're on Instagram, _momfluence. We want to talk to you guys. We want to hang out. So, you know, come find us. And I guess we'll see you guys when we see you next week. Same place, same time.
Bye.
Bye.